Just days after surviving an attempted coup, Captain Ibrahim Traoré didn't hide. He didn't run. He didn't give a speech to reassure the West. He signed a secret mining deal with Russia. No apology, no hesitation, no delay. While international observers were still debating who was behind the failed coup, Traoré was already inking a contract that could reshape Burkina Faso's economy and send a chilling message to every foreign power with interests in Africa's gold. This wasn't just about minerals. This was a counterstrike, a calculated pivot away from Western dependency and straight into Moscow's waiting arms. And that begs the question, what was this secret mining deal all about? And why did Ibrahim Traoré choose this precise time? In this video, let's find out. Just days after escaping what could have been a deadly coup, Captain Ibrahim Traoré didn't hunker down or launch public purges. Instead, he signed a deal, not with France, not with the IMF, but with Nord Gold, a Russian mining giant. The new gold project isn't just another business agreement. It's a geopolitical middle finger to Western influence. The timing was not accidental. In the wake of the attempted regime change, Traoré accelerated, not retreated. The 52.8 square kilometers mining site, rich in untapped gold, is now controlled by 85% by Russia's Nord Gold, leaving just 15% to Burkina Faso. But that 15% speaks volumes. It symbolizes a country that refuses to kneel. The deal projects an image of resilience, not desperation. Traoré didn't sign under pressure. He signed to signal power, and it's not the first time he has used gold as a weapon. The new deal shocked international observers, but to anyone paying attention, it was just another step in a campaign that began in 2023. Back then, Traoré launched a bold initiative to dismantle the colonial scaffolding that propped up Burkina Faso's gold sector. August 2024 saw the nationalization of two major gold mines, Bungu and Wagnan, wrestled back from foreign hands for a mere $80 million. These same assets had previously been valued at over $300 million. Then came November's announcement of the first national gold refinery. For the first time in modern history, Burkina Faso would no longer just export unrefined ore. It would process, refine, and price its own product. February 2024 followed with a clampdown on illicit gold exports, suspending permits for small-scale miners to staunch the hemorrhaging of national wealth. And by October, Traoré declared war on unfair contracts, threatening to revoke mining permits granted under exploitative terms. However, Nord Gold was made a different case by Ibrahim Traoré due to the terms of the contract. On paper, Nord Gold is a mining company, but in practice, it has become something more for Burkina Faso, a willing partner in reshaping the country's economic independence. Owned by Marina Mordashova, with indirect ties to her husband, billionaire Alexei Mordashov, Nord Gold may be Russian in origin, but in Burkina Faso, its role has taken on a different meaning. It is one of the few major international companies that have chosen to work under Burkina Faso's new rules, not against them. While the West has pulled back investment, imposed conditions, or sought control, Nord Gold has leaned into collaboration, respecting the government's push for sovereignty and offering capital and technical expertise at a time of national transformation. Interestingly, this isn't Nord Gold's first involvement in the country. It already operates the Bissa and Bouli mines, two of Burkina Faso's most productive gold sites, and has built relationships with local communities and institutions. Now, with the new gold project in the Plateau Central region, the company is deepening its commitment. The new site is expected to yield over 20 metric tons of gold and inject nearly $89 million into the national budget. But more importantly, it reflects a strategic shift. Foreign investment that respects national control, as Burkina Faso retains a stake and a stronger say in how resources are managed. Unlike the exploitative contracts of the past, the deal with Nord Gold comes at a time when Burkina Faso is asserting itself like never before. After rejecting the presence of French troops, suspending small-scale gold exports to end smuggling, and launching its first national gold refinery, the country is no longer just digging for gold. It's beginning to define what happens to it. The Nord Gold Agreement, signed just days after a failed coup attempt, is therefore not just economic. It's political symbolism, affirming that Burkina Faso is choosing its own partners on its own terms. Of course, no foreign deal is ever without risks, and Russia has its own strategic goals. But unlike Western institutions that often demand political compliance and economic liberalization in exchange for support, Russia's partnerships, particularly through companies like Nordgold, tend to prioritize mutual benefit and resource cooperation. This model aligns with what many African countries have been seeking: partners who provide infrastructure, technology, and market access without dictating internal policy. What makes the current moment so powerful is its message. Traoré didn't sign this deal from a place of weakness. He signed it in defiance, to demonstrate resilience after surviving a coup, and to show that Burkina Faso doesn't need to beg for aid from institutions that have long overlooked its sovereignty. Instead, it can choose investment on its own terms and build value inside its borders, not just dig it up for others. Still, the success of this partnership depends on the implementation. Will Nordgold help develop local skills, transfer technology, and support gold refining inside Burkina Faso? Will profits be reinvested into the community and national infrastructure? The answers to these questions will determine whether this is merely a shift in foreign players or the start of a new kind of cooperation altogether. Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black Africa. Let's continue now. For now, one thing is clear. Burkina Faso has options, and it is no longer afraid to use them. The Nio Gold Project could very well become a blueprint, not for dependency, but for a new era of sovereign resource management, where Africa negotiates as an equal, not as a subordinate. And this is panicking the West. When Traoré shook hands with Nordgold, it wasn't just a handshake. It was a message that echoed all the way from Ouagadougou to Washington. In a world where African contracts are historically inked with French pens and American dollars, signing a fresh deal with a Kremlin-linked Russian company days after an attempted coup felt like a geopolitical bullet, not a business formality. Even if there is no official evidence of Western involvement in the coup, the optics are undeniable. The sequence of events has fueled public suspicion: coup attempt, Western silence, Russian deal. And that's exactly what makes this moment dangerous, not just for Burkina Faso's enemies, but for the entire Western-led order in Africa. You see, Western influence in Africa doesn't rely solely on boots or embassies. It relies on the idea that African nations can't move without foreign money, foreign advice, and foreign infrastructure. So, when a country like Burkina Faso, which is landlocked under military rule, fresh off an attempted regime change, signs a major independent deal outside the Western sphere, it breaks the myth. And myths are powerful things. This single deal, in isolation, may look small. But when you zoom out, it becomes a tremor in a much larger tectonic shift. Mali has already kicked out the French. Niger followed. Guinea made its own waves. Gabon just hinted at nationalizing its own oil concessions. And South Africa? Quietly shifting trade away from the dollar toward the yuan and ruble. The West isn't just watching with worry, it's watching with fear. Because what if this isn't just a rebellious phase? What if it's the new normal? But before we jump to tired tropes about dependency or new masters, let's pause and actually understand what Captain Ibrahim Traoré is doing, and why it matters more than ever. Yes, Nordgold holds an 85% stake in the Nio Gold Project. But focusing only on percentages misses the forest for the trees. What's truly happening here is a recalibration of power, not through charity, not through conditional loans, but through strategic cooperation that places Burkina Faso at the driver's seat of its own economy. Unlike past Western contracts that buried nations under debt and dictated domestic policy from abroad, this Russian partnership was invited, not imposed. There were no IMF strings, no governance improvement clauses used as political blackmail, no troops in the shadows setting the rules. What Traoré has negotiated is not perfect, no foreign deal ever is, but it's a massive leap forward in leverage. The gold isn't just being extracted, it's being counted, taxed, and channeled into a state-guided economy that is slowly building infrastructure for local refining, local value chains, and domestic beneficiation. Let's remember, Burkina Faso is already constructing its first national gold refinery, a facility designed to stop the old practice of shipping raw resources overseas for pennies, only to import refined products back at 10 times the cost. And if Nord Gold participates in that domestic process, if its partnership includes training Burkinabe engineers, building regional expertise, and investing in local supply chains, then this is no longer dependency. It's economic evolution. Critics who claim Burkina Faso is simply trading colonizers miss one crucial point. Traoré is setting the terms. And unlike previous governments, he's not asking permission to restructure the economy. He's doing it. This isn't about abandoning France for Moscow. This is about choosing partners instead of patrons, about transforming extractive deals into developmental ones, about ensuring that gold isn't just a symbol of wealth in foreign bank accounts, but a foundation of prosperity for Burkinabe families. Will it all go smoothly? Of course not. But for once, the risks being taken are calculated, not dictated. And that, in itself, is a kind of liberation. What do you think? Is this gold deal with Russia a path to independence, or just dependency in a different uniform? Can African nations truly own their resources without foreign partners? In the comment section below, share your thoughts on what Ibrahim Traoré should do while dealing with new partners like Russia to ensure his country controls everything and has the absolute say in everything. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We bring videos on Black Africa, its history, rich arts and culture, and things the world should know about. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.